Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Dr. Jason Bannon is not a name that most people will be familiar with, but it's a name that everybody needs to be aware of. There's going to be a lot of fallout over Dr. Jason Bannon. He's a microbiologist and basically also, I suppose you could call him a detective. He works for the FBI and he normally does sort of forensic work and things like that. But in 2021, he concluded after a long period of investigation involving the science as well as the observations of what was happening. He concluded that COVID was in fact the result of a lab leak in China. If this is true, then it means all the costs that the world incurred must be paid for by China. However, why was this information not released and revealed? Well, the fact is that he wrote the report and he presented the report to his bosses within the FBI, who then took a decision to cover it up, to hide it. More importantly, to actually keep it away from the president so that the president could have plausible deniability. They deliberately didn't tell President Biden in 2021 that this was a direct result of the Chinese releasing a virus onto the world. The fallout from this will be immense. It's now come out that this is the case. He's dedicated over a year of his life discovering the origin, but the official position was it came from a wet market in Wuhan, and it was just some rando disease that crossed from animal to human. That's the official line. That's the line that they've all taken. And yet it appears that this was a lie. We, the people, the world, were lied to. We lost businesses, people, money, investments. The world went to shit. What's worse, of course, is that money of the people was extracted and given to private individuals across the world, that rights and freedoms were denied, were cancelled, many of which have never, ever been returned, and all because of the Chinese releasing a virus, perhaps accidentally, who knows, and that people in positions of power knew this, but covered it up. They're complicit. It must now come a time of retribution. People must pay. Certainly the Chinese must be given a bill by every country in the world and told they have to pay it. And our politicians in every country, every politician who knew, every intelligence agency that knew, they must all be held responsible, prosecuted, jailed. This must never happen again. And we must put sufficient punishments in place that no politician, no security agency will ever do it again. And after they've paid the bill for everything that's been cost, we then must punish China for doing what it did so that it will never do it again. So it pays the bill and then it gets a punishment beating in the form of perhaps a complete trade blackout, not allowed to sell to anyone in the world for 10 years. Let's see how China likes that. Certainly clean up the atmosphere, wouldn't it? If every factory in China had to close down. Seems fair to me. What about you? What do you think? And should the authorities, should they be punished? Should we imprison the people that withheld this? I think so too. Let me know. Certainly things have to change, and the politicians must acknowledge now what was covered up in the past. Not the ones that are, new politicians that weren't in a position to know. They are fine. They can come out, acknowledge and apologise on behalf of their forebears. But those ones that did know, they have to be punished. Thanks very much.